All right, let's do it. We rolling?
We're rolling.
Let the good times roll.
Good time.
I can already tell this is gonna be a fun episode.
It's about to be heat.
Who wants to intro? I don't even know. I think we need to bring a little bit of context to today's episode.
Yeah, you intro.
I will because I'll delete it.
Or this is the intro right here.
Yeah.
I think we're already
No
into
way.
it.
We're recording?
Yeah,
We're
We're
live.
recording.
let's keep all that because we're gonna dive right into it. Dad, do you want
I have
do
been
the
looking
honor?
forward to today. It's been on my calendar. It's been highlighted. I've been counting down the days and the moments for today. Podcast for the people. You're in for a special treat. I am so pleased to present to you two of my favorite people on the planet, and they just happen to be my two sons, Talon and Kaleb. Everybody, we got a new distinguished guest. His name is Caleb Pollock. He's 19 years old, and he's
Let's
joining
go.
us all the way from Murrieta, California. What's up, Caleb?
That's good. We're here.
Thank you for taking a step and joining us. Talon, how long have we been asking for your brother to come on?
A minute now. It's been a long time.
Caleb,
It's been
what
good.
finally made you say, yes, you'll join the podcast and you'll come into the hot seat on Podcast for the People?
I mean, I think it just got to a point I didn't want to be disowned as a son. Like 6 times you asked me probably around there, and
So you
then
kind of felt like I can't go into the holidays without
I just
joining
can't.
this.
It's my gift to you, your birthday gift.
Honestly, and I am sentimental, and I am a dad for our audience and you guys. Would say it privately, and I say it publicly. Some of the richest rewards God has given your mother and I is you both, at young men who love Jesus, are following Him and being used by Him, and the fact that we get to do life and ministry together is beyond price, is beyond fame, is beyond. I really believe God rewards us, our faith with family, and you both are amazing. You're my friends. I admire you both. You have been a constant strength and source of encouragement, and I am so privileged to do life with you both. I love you guys so much.
Thanks.
Love you too.
Thanks, Dad. Love you too.
It's an honor.
You guys good?
Yeah.
I'm on the hot seat today, so Talon, I switched. This is a hot seat.
Yeah.
So this is like where you got to pitch the questions and everything, huh?
Well, you're the interviewer today, so
So Talon, you started drinking coffee at what age?
I don't know. 18.
Yeah. Caleb still hasn't gone there yet, but
Slowly.
your wife
We got him on
Ariana
today though.
said if you're going to come to the podcast, you have to have a coffee. So Caleb, what are you drinking?
I think it's called a coffee cake from the press.
You like it?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Coffee's
out.
not really my thing.
Yeah.
I feel like ever since I started working, like manual labor, like, it turns you into a coffee drinker. I understand it more.
You're forced into it a little
You
bit.
need it, yeah.
Yeah.
Gets you going. It's like the one thing you can look forward to waking up.
No doubt.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm here drinking my coffee.
Well, Dad, you're like a borderline addict. to
He's
coffee.
addicted.
I know. I probably have a problem. You're probably right.
Like you are the
Do you
one
guys-
person that no matter what time of the day, no matter how many
matter-
coffee,
I
if
know.
coffee's in, if I mention coffee,
He's there.
Man,
you're
He's
willing-
there.
have I ever
Go-
said no to coffee?
you're
Is that a
willing to
problem?
go to whatever length to go get
No matter
It's
what.
like a social thing for me. It's like I sip it. It's when I pray, I study. It's like I guess a comfort, it's like the Holy Spirit. It's, it just feels my Bible,
We're
the
gonna get
Spirit of
kids on
God, coffee. It feels right.
You could be getting driven by him to school and you're late and he's still stopping for that coffee.
That's it. It's holiday season. What do you guys think about Thanksgiving and Christmas? And is that still cool in your age and stage of life, or what do you? Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
I know mom still wants your Christmas list and stuff.
I'm horrible.
Would
at
you be
that.
open right now? Right now, what would be number one thing on your Christmas list right now today? Talon, what would you want, Caleb? No price tag. Doesn't matter.
No price tag.
What would you want, Caleb? Talon, what would you want if we could, if from your wife, Talon, or Caleb from mom and I, what would be the top on your list?
Honestly, I would say dirt bike.
A dirt bike.
Yeah, street legal, decked.
I'm gonna say same.
Yeah, mom would say no. Ari, I don't know. I know. I'm speaking.
She
of-
doesn't like.
That's
the
cool.
idea.
That's a good idea. Dirt
I would
bike.
say it's like my number one.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I guess growing up, that was something we never got into. I know Dylan, sitting to my left, kind of the, what do we call him? The production manager, or what is his title?
media guy,
Media
production.
guy. He's
that.
all into that stuff. He grew up in that stuff. Do you guys feel, let me ask you this. What in your childhood do you feel, because of our life as pastors and living life for Jesus, what do you feel you were deprived of?
Interesting. I would say probably those first couple years SpongeBob was out, like we were just not allowed to watch it for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that was like a thing.
SpongeBob?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys not let us watch SpongeBob. I feel like, not in a bad way, but I would grow up and be like, dang, your parents don't care about, not you guys, but like my friends, I'd be like, dang, your parents honestly don't care about you. Like you could literally do whatever you want.
Yeah.
To whereas us, it's like we actually have some rules set in place. So I don't know how, that's like my only world is like my friends would be like, oh, it's Friday, you know, getting out of school. We have a 2-day weekend. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You guys don't go to church on Sunday? Like I have a 1-day weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then it's church all day Sunday. But it's just crazy. Like that's all that we've known is how you guys have raised us as pastors' kids.
Would you say honestly that I was strict or hard?
Maybe in like, not hard. You definitely weren't
You're
hard.
involved, I would say. I want to say
Yeah.
strict. The word I'd use is involved. So I feel like, yeah, like you're just a part of our daily life. Like you're guiding and leading us other than just like Talon said, like letting you just run free. Like, sure, go stay at your friend's house for 2 days in a row. But you would prioritize like, oh no, it's a family day, or we're doing this, or I'm picking you up Sunday morning to get you to church, although you stayed at someone's house. Like,
Right.
just like a standard you
Right.
held, which is good.
It's not that you were super strict. It was more you were just super, like what Caleb said, you were involved. Like you were very, our lives as kids were always interconnected with you guys, even up until like 18, really. You guys just were, you knew about everything. I don't know how you raised the other kids. I feel like I was the test dummy for everything because I see the girls now.
We
And I'm
probably
like,
do.
I'm like, bro, where was that? Why,
It's probably a known
That's
parenting
facts.
fact that parents
You
loosen
guys
up.
got
as it
less
goes.
and less the older we get. And I'm just like,
Hope and Brooke are- yeah.
are chilling right now.
They're cruising.
But I don't know. I wouldn't say you're strict. I liked my childhood. I think Caleb did too.
Yeah, I agree.
Just no regrets on our childhood.
I think that in the world we live in today, this right here, 19, 25, cool, gifted. Both you guys are just immensely gifted. You're creatives. So much to admire about you guys. But man, like, not forced. You guys love God and you're in church and you're in pursuit of that. Caleb, like, if I could just kind of go here for just a moment, what's happening in your heart a little bit at 19? I hear you just, and if I can go public, man, I just see such an awakening in your life. You're sending text messages, you're encouraging. You reached out the other day and you're like, Dad, I went back and listened to all messages of you and on my work and job. And what's going on in your heart, Caleb? And at 19, I'm sure you're seeing a lot of
Yeah,
change
definitely.
in culture, but you're awakening. And I mean, you said church Sunday's your favorite thing and church matters to you so
Totally.
much, and God, and what's happening in your heart and what's brought you this moment. And that's so powerful at 19 that you're awakening.
I would totally say a lot of that has to do with like moving out,
Okay.
being out of the house, kind of like starting my life fully.
Wow.
Before it's like you're a Christian, you're walking for God, like totally, but I'm at a place where I need to walk with God. Like that relationship is like where I'm being drawn to,
Wow.
I feel like that's like what's most important in my life is like truly creating that relationship and putting out that time to like learn my relationship with God, learn him more, learn his voice, versus when I'm at home, I just felt like more leniency, being under you guys, like I'm being
Wow.
led. Now
Wow.
I'm leading my own life. So it seems more serious.
Caleb, honestly, and I know we're on the spot, but would you say that you honestly are having a relationship with the Spirit of God and with Jesus, aside from church and faith, you're developing a vibrant, living relationship with Jesus?
Totally.
Wow.
It's not
What
like
does that
it
look
wasn't
like?
there before.
What does that look like?
I mean, just for an example, like we've been working like late shifts. Right now we're working at the San Diego Zoo with my crew, and we had staff chapel that day. And I felt like during staff chapel, God was like, after work, like, give me time, like, come pray. So of course I'm fired up hearing your word. Like, I'm like, bet, like, let's do it. Getting back
What
at
does bet mean? Just help, though.
like, Bet is like yes, it's an agreement. It's like bet.
Yeah.
Like I'm
So funny.
agreeing.
Talon texted me the day, and I said, bet. Ha, ha, ha. I
That's
used
fire.
that for Talon.
That's fire. But, you know, in the moment, you're always like so down. Like I was in church, all that, and I'm driving home from work. It's like 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. And, you know, it's just like, what am I going to do? Am I going to go home and sleep, or am I going to go park up and pray? Like something I would totally not do before.
Wow.
So like that's honestly like what it looks like, is like carving out that time, like showing God that I'm putting in work to like learn his voice, and like
Wow.
I want to be changed by him, you know?
Wow. That's really beautiful.
Like awakening my faith, I would say.
So powerful. Talon, can I just do that? Were you doing good? Can I answer you guys questions and
Let's
stuff?
flow.
Talon, we remember as a freshman in high school, I know we said this before, but you came to us and said, hey, guys, I feel like if I stay in this public school, I'm going to miss and derail my destiny and stuff.
Yeah.
When did you feel like the Lord became really personal to you, beyond church, beyond mom and dad? And when do you feel like you started to cultivate that relationship with the Word and with His presence? And
Yeah, I would say it started when I approached you guys freshman year, but it didn't really maturate until I want to say after I was out of high school. There was always steps along the way that led to that. You know, as you're growing, you're becoming more independent, but I started to see myself like Caleb's walking through right now, not necessarily relying or leaning on my parents' faith, but having my own time of seeking God and experiencing God in a way where it's a really special thing, because growing up in church and growing up under your guys' like leadership, you can just cruise for a little bit, you know, because
sure,
you feel like your parents are you guys are pastors and you guys got it covered. You guys are always praying, always seeking God. But there comes a time where you realize you need to have that personal relationship with God for yourself. And same thing, like, I think it's silly because growing up, we could make fun or just laugh at you for, you know, like being so emotional and like crying to pray with like you. Oh,
Yeah.
Dad's praying right now.
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
going crazy in the
And
house.
mimic me, and
But now, or like going out to pray and stuff. But like we find ourselves doing that too.
wow,
It's just really full circle. Like, this isn't a mom and dad thing anymore. It's a me thing, you know? And like, I'm just so happy for Caleb. Like, just even all of us doing this is kind of crazy, you know?
wow. There's a 5-year difference.
Yeah.
Telling you're 24 turning 25, and you're 19 turning 20. When COVID hit, you already have been a vital part. Gosh, you've led youth and led worship and young adults, and your talent's always been a vital part. You've volunteered on a worship team as long as this ministry's almost been going. You and Alec, right? I mean, you guys have. And then when COVID hit, when we went to the camera, I looked at you. I said, Caleb, I need you right now. And I put you with our team. We put you in the hot spot, and we put you behind that camera.
Every
And that
Sunday.
kind of brought you, and now you've awakened, and you're part of our creative team, and you help with our merch and different designs and different things. So what's amazing is both of you are a vital part of this church and this ministry, which again is just absolutely amazing. A preacher's kid. Yeah. I wasn't a preacher's kid. I wasn't. I don't know what that's like. Wasn't raised in that. I had a good, an amazing mother and father that loved Jesus and made Troy and I be in church. And my dad was the head usher, and he was a board member, and he was an elder and all that.
Part.
You know, he's a part, but I don't know what is it like? What is that hard? Is there a stigma to that? I've asked you often, I'll even ask the girls, do you like that your parents pastor church and stuff like that? You know, of course you didn't get to choose this. You were in essence born into this and by God's plan. Tell what's it like being a preacher's kid and all that? What do you think about that? What would you say to the average person?
It's definitely interesting, and I don't think it's for everybody. I mean, there's like, this is my view on it, is if you're a pastor's kid, there's like a 50% chance that you'll stay a good person. And the other 50%, like, you're just going to just completely fall off the map.
Off the rails.
So I don't know if that's just like each kid is your personality, or I'm just praying against that for your life. But
yeah, amen.
Dang, being a pastor's kid it's all we know. So it's like nothing new to us. So I don't know an outside perspective at all. But I would say the biggest thing that I could take away from it is feeling like, not that you're better than everyone, but you can't open up. I've always felt like I can't open up the way that regular people can.
Wow.
Because I am associated to you guys.
So
I'm associated to like a family of faith.
The face of the church.
Exactly. So it's like I always felt growing up that I had to hide any sort of weakness in my life or struggle in my life. To where I was like, dang, I just wish sometimes I was not a pastor's kid so that I could show everybody like this side of me
Your
that's
humanity.
like a real human, you know? I don't know if I put that on myself. I don't know if Caleb's felt the same way. But I always remember being like pressured that I have to represent more than just me. I have to represent you guys. I have to represent the church. I have to represent Christianity as like a whole.
Wow.
Totally. So that's a unique thing. I don't know if people feel like that outside of that, but yeah. What about you, Caleb? Are you?
Yeah, I feel like I could definitely see that dynamic. It's definitely is different, you know? Like, you did such a good job, so it's almost like hard to speak on this. Like, truly, he's like the layout of like how a dad should be. I feel like how you went about everything, how you raised us. You were a pastor on and off of the church to us. Like, you are always a pastor, you know? But you were like a good shepherd for our family and like led us in a good way. And it's honestly a gift to be a pastor's kid. I feel like after moving out and like looking back and reflecting, just to see like you led the church how you led your family. And that's why we're where we're at now. Like you said, all serving in the church and stuff. So there's like two sides. Like you could go and say, I didn't like this, or I have to talk to all these people. I have to put on my best act. I can't really just be normal. It's true.
Yeah.
But like you said, like it's God's plan. Like it's where he placed us, and I'm glad how it all unfolded, I would say.
What do you guys both speak to? What do you enjoy about your life most now? How would you define your season, and what, it's different from my perspective but what are you loving now? What's cool? What's good in your world now as you see the world unfolding, or what? Not challenges, but what would you say? Like this is an awesome aspect.
Yeah, I think for me it's just like family. Speaking again on like being on the podcast, it's cool that every one of my siblings is becoming an adult because I'm the oldest. So it's like sometimes it was hard to relate with my siblings because I was just older, you know. Caleb was the closest one, 5-year gap, but still there was that gap of Caleb being like a teenager and like I was like a young adult. So even our mindsets were so different, but it's like cool to see my sister's old now, my brother old. I feel like our family's gotten closer because we're all like you guys are waiting for us to grow through our kid stage, and now we can all relate on a level towards family, towards ministry, towards life. That it's like we're all family, but we're friends too, you know?
Totally.
And I think just like I'm the first one to get married, but like I love being married. I love my wife. I love that whole dynamic. That's like the best thing I could imagine, like not being married right now. It's like, so it's weird.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited for all of the siblings to grow the family even more because I feel like it's such a family affair.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like this, I've always kind of pictured us as like, those gangster movies or like the mob movies of like just like a family ordeal. Like I kind of just feel like that's us.
And I
like
love that Talon's always been
definitely
like, we're in this together. We're a family. I love that.
It's like mob ties. Like
you
we're
got
all,
that's
we're the mafia or something.
We're gonna have to clear that up there. Yeah, exactly. What would we call our name? What's our name? Do you
It's
think?
the Pollocks.
The Pollocks.
It's just your name, yeah.
So at one point we're gonna get all P tattoos. Caleb, you have some tattoos.
Yeah.
Talon, you have some tattoos. I have some.
Yeah.
Does
Ari has
anyone
a P
have?
tattoo.
So we were gonna do all P's, right?
Right.
Mom
So
and
I was told.
You guys, the girls, and Ari. So who's done it? Only Ari?
Ari's done it.
Me,
and
I was the
Caleb's done
first
it.
Oh,
one.
you did.
I took the
That's
step
right.
of faith.
Caleb and Ari.
It's been like a
Do
year.
you have one, Talon?
I don't.
I don't either. We should do it.
Let's do
I think
it.
it's time.
Do you guys know that Joyce Meyer, came out here. Mom was telling me mom loves Joyce Mars. What a great teacher, and she's legendary, right?
Yeah.
She listens. Mom, when she goes on her walks and runs, will listen to her little podcast, or whatever. And she came back. She goes, "Babe, Joyce Meyer went public on tattoos, and she's gonna get a tattoo now. Now, don't get religious. I think she got a tattoo at like 77 years old or something."
Crazy.
So, Caleb, what are you enjoying about life and season? And that was wonderful what Talon was saying. What do you feel about all that?
Like life's good. Things are good. Like I'm looking forward to the future, and like I know I'm out where God placed me. I'm cherishing my time like with my family and like being able to do this together. I think that's definitely a gift, Like some people don't even know much about their dad or their sisters or brother, but us being like so close knit, I feel like that's like truly a gift and like something I enjoy and look forward being able to do things like this dynamic.
So with that, you guys, that's beautiful. I think we want to be a close family, huh? We want to be together. What are just some practical things? I mean, we're a family. We've got a lot of moving parts, right? How in the world today, fast-paced world of distractions, a world of pulling, anti-family in a lot of ways, right? What have we done? You guys as brothers, us, how have we kept healthy, relational family dynamics going? How do we do that? How do people do that? How do you guys do it as brothers? How do we do it as father and son? Because we are close. I mean, what do you guys think about that? What are some practical things to keeping families, not just when they're younger, but in adolescence and in older seasons of life, to keeping it together, keeping it cohesive? And I mean, do I bother you when I text you guys a lot, or do I? What do you? I mean, do you want me to give you more space?
It's
It
nonstop.
takes a lot, but
It's like, oh, here's dad again.
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly, I know. I try
You're
to
a
give you
communicator.
space.
Yeah, I think it's learning everybody, because
Yeah.
not everybody receives the same. So for you, it's like you're a communicator. So the older you get, you learn not to only communicate how you receive things.
Yeah, true.
So us as a family, just figuring out like what's Caleb's quality time, I'm kind of words and quality time too. It's just like figuring out as a family, like who is this family and how do we love each other the best?
What's the flow?
Exactly. What's the flow? I don't know what the right answer is. I'm just going to say it, like being Christian helps.
Jesus, sing it, son. Jesus at the center. Come
I'll
on, Talon.
let you sing that.
At the center of it all.
Yeah, I think families, God created family. He does everything through family. And like you said, the enemy is attacking family like no other. The idea of marriage is being attacked. The idea of, like, people don't realize this, the base level ideal place to be is in a family where the man and the woman are married and they have children together. And that's like the start.
Yeah.
So if you already have that, like, you're already better off you're already like walking in the will of God, But us as humans, we got to learn to not hold bitterness. And I think so many families just, the enemy tries to sow bitterness in between the relationships.
Beautiful. Wow.
And that's just something that I'm so grateful for, that our all six of us plus RE7 now, is that there's no
Don't forget Prince.
Is that we don't have any like
Wow.
falling out,
Yeah.
We don't have any bitterness because
It's healthy.
we go to the same church, we live in the same area, and we're submitted to the idea that like God is our life,
Definitely.
Very good.
So yeah, I would just say, parents, just love your kids, show them that you love them, give them your time. And then kids, like, don't be selfish. Don't always take. Like, once you get to a mature place, start pouring back into your parents too.
True.
Wow. So good. That's really that staying healthy and working through stuff. Let's be honest too. I mean, not so much with Caleb now, but we've sat, Mom and I, and you and Ari, on the couch many times and had discussions that maybe were uncomfortable, but we've talked through it, and we love and we pray, and we're big. I mean, it doesn't mean that there's not things to overcome or
Right.
misunderstandings, or right. I mean, talk through it and be a family and be big-hearted and gracious, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I love maybe about our family. I feel like we all root each other on.
Yeah.
You know, there's not like the jealousy. We're one family and we celebrate each other, huh?
Yeah.
And I think that's a powerful thing. Caleb, you mentioned, would you like the gift of presence, of my presence, or the gift to you? What to you meant the most that I did or that I presented to you? And then we can flip the question, but what do I do that means the most to you? It's not a message. It's not maybe just a meal. What at 19, for our listeners, for dads, what speaks to you? What encourages you? What do you value?
I would say one thing I value is your genuineness. Like, there's nothing fake coming from you. I never feel like you're reaching out because you feel like you need to, or you're encouraging me because you're obligated to, or spending time with me for those reasons. It's like always feels super genuine. So like knowing I have you in my corner, like truly, like you stand for me, you stand for this family, every one of us, you truly believe in us. Like you'll do anything to help us succeed in this life, or I can call you any time of the day or night, you know, you're there. I feel like that's one thing I cherish most. You care, like actually, not just, oh, I need to check on my kid because I need to check on my kid. It's more just like you love that relationship. You're a part.
Yeah.
So you guys, at 12 years old, man, I just wanted to get married and have a family. It was really strange. And I mean, that was like my dream. And I did. I had a great example. I just wanted to be get married and have a family. And then at 12 years old, I saw this traveling evangelist come in with his wife. And I said, oh my gosh, that's what I want to be. And when I came out of Bible school, you're so bursting with desire and passion and stadiums and travel the world. And, you assume you're God's next great man. He's just waiting for you to arrive. And, and it wasn't that way for me. But early on, the Holy Spirit itched on my heart, never neglect the ones I've given you. And I've really paced my life to not neglect you guys. And I can honestly say right now, with what's happening and where we're going, I wouldn't trade it for anything. The investment of just taking you to school and being there and Talon, you're a leader. Talon, you're a leader. Talon, you're a leader. Talon, you're a champion. Speaking into your life and being there. I would just say to anyone, we're so imperfect as parents. My dad is, and I've said it before in this setting, he said, son, just your kids don't screw them up. And it's true.
Yeah.
Just don't screw them up. God's gracious. Prayer works. Mom prays constantly and we're involved. But man, if you've got children at whatever stage, like, it's a beautiful ministry and responsibility. I didn't look at the church as just my only ministry or traveling or friends. I really looked at if Talon was at Pop Warner, I was going to be there for him. And if Caleb's playing flag football on Friday, like this is my ministry. And now it's the fruit of my ministry. And I think you can actually judge this fruit even greater than church fruit. And I think in a lot of ways we've gotten so focused on ministry as just church or ministry or a book or a song. But really, and I want to say that I believe from God's heart, ministry is family. And it's so important to prize and to prioritize that. And I've lived by, that's like one of my commandments, never neglecting the ones God's given you. And I've just we've endeavored to do it and to live it that way.
Yeah.
Would you guys say that maybe, did you guys have seasons where you were just turned off from church and maybe got into a rebellious side at all? Or what? How did you handle various rebellion or temptation? Or can you guys still receive the word from me, right? Or was there times you're like, I'm over my dad, or he doesn't know what he's doing? Or let's talk maybe not in a negative way, but when I bothered you or offended you, or did I have to make a decision in your life you didn't go? How did that take place? And Talon, you're a little older now, but I know that's a big, maybe ambiguous question, but what do you think about that? Or say what you want to say in this setting.
I never had problems with you or mom in church, and I never had problem with the church, the idea of the church. I had problems with people within the church.
Wow.
Because I feel like I was this rare case of a kid who cared way too much about church. I feel like I carried the same conviction that you and mom did, like building a church. I don't know why, you know,
Yeah.
I'm like 14, 15, 16, but I
You
care
carried it deep.
about,
It's true.
it affected me deeply. So I would just get so mad about like people in the church that just, you know, church is for people, but then the biggest problem within churches are
So true.
the people.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it was that way and not any other way though, because you know I'm blessed to not be jaded because of ministry, not be jaded because of leadership,
Wow.
but just like experiencing people and how people can hurt. You know,
Totally.
because I get like defensive. You know.
Yeah. One thing I really admire about Talon, and I think it's a beautiful, it's rare in this world. You are a genuine biblical loyalist. You are loyal. You know, the Bible says in the end days they'll become traitors. You're not a traitor. You are loyal. And that's why I think you're at 25, but you carry so much weight of heart and ministry and culture and DNA, and you're really a loyalist. And that is a rare, and same with Kaleb, but you really are. You're loyal, and I love that about you. And you defend what you feel is right in your family. And you being a little older than Kaleb, you had to see some of the tragic things we had to walk through, and you being a little bit older could process it different than Kaleb because you had to walk some of that stuff you had to walk through. I can remember picking you up from youth, and you're like, Dad, like, you sucks. There's nobody here. What are we doing wrong? And why is and, you know, and I,
Yeah.
you know, not maybe that's the wrong word, but you're heartbroken
I
because
genuinely
why
felt
aren't we
that a lot of
growing,
the
Dad? And
time.
why aren't people coming, Dad? And why isn't our church bigger? And I said, well, I don't know, and I'm crying, but let's go get a Chick-fil-A shake and, you know, milk it
facts.
down. I mean, honestly, like
That's
you
facts.
carried this thing deep, and why would they do that? And why they leave? And why they say that? And, you know, Kaleb, have you dealt with rebellion or not wanting to be here? Or, and let's be honest, you're seeing friends go different directions right now. You've been awakening to some spiritual,
totally.
like, how do you?
I would say that's one aspect of being a pastor's kid, because it's like church is your life. Like you, like live for the church, like live for God, and that's how you led our family. So, like growing up, like we've been about this literally since out the womb, you know, like honestly. So, I feel like there was a time where I kind of felt like you kind of die out, you know.
Wow.
You get comfortable, you get used to this, like it felt like less special, less of a thing. And I feel like that's one thing, like you said, pastor kids can go like one way, you know? I
Yeah.
feel like that has to do with it because you're so apart from a young age, it's your life. So when you get to the age of like 18, 19, you really have that choice to like go one way and go the other. And like for time being, like I was like sowing into the world more than I was the church, you know?
Wow.
And
What age or stage was that? High
I'd say
school?
like COVID, like senior
Okay.
year, all my plans being thrown off for my life with the world just shutting down for the time being. Kind of like
Okay.
I just
You
got
start
like
flirting with the world.
exactly, yeah. It's just it was a temptation, and it felt like not a big deal like at the time, you know, just like how things were, and like it's bad to think, but even being like you're a kid, it felt like it's like it was easier to do because it's like, oh, I got you. Like I'm being led by you. I'm good. Like
Wow.
I'm a pastor's kid. Like I know the word.
Wow.
I know the Bible in and out. Like you think you're like living for God, but like I wasn't walking with him like truly or like how I am now, you know? So I felt like that's definitely a thing like where I had that little phase. And of course it's just like a little phase, like you reawaken, and I'm like thankful for it, for like what it taught me and how it's prepared me to like walk out my life now. Thank God I'm not just moved out and am going that route, you know?
Yeah.
I got to get that out of the way, I guess. But yeah, totally. I feel like that was definitely a thing.
Because I feel like pastors' kids feel like they are missing out on everything in the world. So once
Like they're deprived a little bit.
right,
Yeah.
Okay.
right. So then we get to this place where it's like we went our whole life without this, and everyone seems to be having like the best time. And it takes like kind of the prodigal story where he left the house and he dabbled in the world, and he ends up in the pig pen.
Wow.
And so just to encourage like any other pastor's kids out there, or even if you just have grown up with great parents in the church, you don't even have to be pastor's kids, but don't make the mistake of going out and trying the world because you haven't tried it yet. Like there's honestly there's nothing that the world has that will exceed what God has and
It's
what
true.
the church has. And I'm just glad that like Hope and Brooke, like, I'm not speaking against them, but they still have their time to prove. But like, I'm glad that none of us really like wilded out, and
Thank you,
that would just suck so bad.
It would.
It's a
you
step
know?
backwards.
Thank you, Jesus.
I'm just so
Can we
glad
say it,
that-
guys? Like living for Jesus is the best adventure there is, and
Truly.
living your whole life for Him, it's the best. It's the best, and
It's a good
I'm
life.
so like, gosh, you guys are choosing this and walking this out, and
Yeah.
thank you, Jesus. I've been stuck on
Totally.
that verse. It's my new favorite verse. 2 Corinthians 5:15, and He died for all, so that all would no longer live for themselves, but live for Him who died for all.
Yeah.
Like that's it, huh? Living this life for Jesus in your own unique ways.
Yeah.
In your own unique ways. And honestly, you guys, and I don't know what you, but like, you're two of my best friends and close, and it's doing life together. It's just so, it's amazing, and so proud of you guys. And I've told you lately, I just love you so much. What do you guys,
Love
you
you
want to turn
too.
the page on me, or do you want to say anything else,
we
or
need to
what?
ask him some questions, I feel like.
Yeah, Dad, what has been your biggest fear raising kids in ministry?
That you would, what was the word you guys, that
Wild out.
you wild out, that Jesus,
Wildin'.
that Jesus wouldn't become personal to you. My biggest prayer is, Lord, you got to reveal yourself to my kids. Oh, Father, I want them to know you like I know you. So my biggest concern, I wouldn't be concerned, honestly, if, we've all been honest. You've made mistakes. Talon's made mistakes. Caleb's made mistakes. We've been open. We're going to make mistakes. I wasn't tripped out on the mistakes. I tried to really give you freedom.
You did.
It did. It said, if you didn't know Jesus, because if you know Him, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's, if you didn't have a personal relationship with Jesus, we're sunk. And I pray that for you guys daily. Oh, Father, may they know you. Because if He's got your heart and the fear of God's in your heart, we're going to be good. The rest will flesh out. You're
Yeah.
going to have an accident. You're gonna get a ticket. You're gonna maybe dabble here or there. You're gonna be at a party, but if you got Jesus, you're gonna feel I don't fit here.
yeah,
Right.
it's true.
And we gave you guys some freedom. But I didn't want to. My parents really gave me freedom, sort of, and I didn't want to. I just wanted you
Let
guys
us
to
learn.
find it for yourself. So
Right.
for me, I feel if you find Jesus personally, we're not out of the
We're gonna
woods.
be okay.
We're gonna be okay.
And I think too, like, would you say that you've just learned to give things time?
Yes. I didn't want to force it on you guys, and we can be honest. You guys are called. Mama or I have never told you what you're called to do. It's
true.
Forced it ever.
Right.
I didn't want to. I've never told you, Caleb or Talon, you have to preach. I've never told you have to take on this ministry. I never told you you're the. We
There
are,
was
are
no
the girls.
pressure to perform.
I've never wanted to put pressure on you to walk out what I'm walking out.
Right.
I don't know.
Facts.
Well, and I want you guys to find that, and the calling to unfold, however the journey. Joseph got lost in the dream. However it looks, let it. I want it to be organic and by the Spirit of God, because if it's by me, you have to be called too. And
Right.
The longest time you would
don't
say-
call your kids.
yeah, you can't call them. You can't force it.
You just
Yeah.
are called to encourage them in whatever God's called
like
them to
like
be.
I remember we had a powerful youth ministry at our church growing up. I'm talking like 500 kids popping. This was late 90s. That's when the youth it was, and I just did not want to go to youth. I just didn't fit there. I didn't go. And I remember telling my parents that, and I remember them saying, you know what, we're not going to like force you to go, but we'd encourage you to go. And that was just to me wisdom. Not that. Okay, let me give it better context. They let me kind of navigate the desire for it to be God, and it worked out well. I just didn't want Mom or I didn't want to force on you. Remember when Saul took off his armor and put it on David? Didn't fit him.
Yeah,
I didn't want to give you guys something
that's good.
that didn't fit you, and in your immaturity would push you away
Wow.
from pressure. Instead, you saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm a little I got 5 slings. I got 5 stones in a sling, Dad. That's amazing, Talon. That's amazing, Caleb."
Yeah.
And celebrate that and let it become organic to that way. So I wanted you guys to find your destiny and calling in Him and see that unfold.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be honest, Caleb, that when I went to you, I said, "Hey, would you sit on that camera? that was like the first time you're 18 that I ever kind of even engaged you on anything to do.
It's true.
Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, definitely.
I'll be honest too, and even the girls, Hope and Brooke, they're serving here. They're serving all the time. They're in children's coffee shop and all that. And I felt one day I was praying, and I felt the Holy Spirit say, the girls are in a unique season. Go to the children's department and ask and request that they're not in children's church right now. Have them be in Sunday service to hear you right now. I actually, by the Spirit of God, I told that to Mama. I asked them not to serve. I felt like they needed to be close to me and the Word.
Yeah.
So you got to be sensitive as parents. Now they serve. You know, I mean, they serve. But I don't know. We just got to be sensitive to what that looks like. And at 6 years old, you know, we bought a guitar, put it in your room, and only God knew now that guitar is your tool and your instrument and a lot apart. But
Yeah.
But then it's cool because like once we do walk into it, I'm so glad that you gave us such favor. Like we're not going to pretend that you don't favor your kids. And I've always been so grateful for that. Like it is a family affair, you know? Like I don't, maybe in times past, like could feel bad about this or that, but it's like, no, I'm glad that my parents stuck their neck out for us. And like I personally just feel so blessed that I'm reaping a lot of benefits of what you guys have sowed into the soil of like ministry and, you know, even beyond, I don't live with you guys anymore, but like, it still feels like you guys are providing in a way that, you know, we're just so blessed and I'm just so grateful and so favored. Like, so thank you for not kicking us to the curb and being like, figure it out, you know?
Totally.
Like that's why this church is also so important to us, is because we grew up in it as you were building it, but now it's like our life. And I don't know of a lot of people that can say that their life revolves around their family. Like my wife and our relationship is so unique. We literally spend every second of every day together because we work together.
yeah.
Like and this isn't to brag or anything, but I'm truly feel like I'm living my best life. And it all started with my parents being faithful to what God's called them to do and me trusting God with my life. And it's like, I'm not saying that's the cheat code for everybody, because not everybody's life's going to look the same. But if we could just encourage people, like following what God has for you is so much better. And you're going to be so much happier than trying to figure out a life on your own.
Yeah.
I've probably have said it, and I've heard it said, one of the greatest things you can do for your children is love their mom, or love mom, the spouse.
Yeah.
Would you guys say that Mom and I, our relationship and our marriage was a big, well, what would you say to that? Let me leave it out in the air.
Yeah.
Caleb, Mom and I, our relationship, our marriage, how we love each other. Did that
perfect.
secure you? What?
Yeah, definitely security, I would say. Definitely security. Like the
And we're not perfect in marriage at all or anything, but I'm just.
Or you just were good at hiding it, because I feel like you guys were perfect.
Almost perfect. Like totally, like seeing you guys, like, oh, it's a date night, like still going on dates. Like you guys are definitely like, the love was real, you know, like, oh, our parents are in love. Like you could feel that as a kid.
That's cool.
And yeah, like security is a perfect word to use, you know. You don't feel like there's any division in the house when your parents are standing together and like they're backing the house, you know, like you feel like you're going to be all right. Because if that's good, like everything stems from that, you know, that's your marriage.
That's a key. Don't let division, strife, envy, and jealousy and division operate in your home because it is destructive. Keep your home full of peace and unity.
It's good.
Work out your problems. That's powerful, Caleb.
It's good.
Yeah. Like just little things of like, I never heard you guys yell at each other or fight.
Yeah.
Tear each other down.
Yeah.
Like even if you had to go in the room and work it out, it's like, go in the room. Don't let your kids have to experience that, you know? Not saying you guys were perfect, but to us, you were so strategic to show us the side of love and show us your guys' love and your guys' affection towards each other. Even now, like when I'm with you and you call mom, like she's just the most energetic, like starstruck response to you, and I'm like, you guys have been married for so long, and you guys still keep it so fresh and so.
Mom's amazing. Huh?
Continual,
Give a shout
the
out
best.
to mom.
Yeah,
Shout out.
mom's
Shout out
the
to
OG.
Mom.
Shout out.
Mom's the OG for sure.
She's the OG, and she prays, man. Gosh, she prays. She just prays all the time.
Totally.
Talon, I feel like Caleb's like pro on this thing, huh?
He's pretty
No
good. Pretty darn good.
No
Have we
chance.
not hit something on this, you guys, that you think we need to, Talon? I mean,
I don't know.
You're the pod genius, so
No
what are
way.
we
The
missing?
pod master.
I think we need to start saying some controversial stuff.
Who we
to
calling
offend
out?
everybody on here.
Who we
Man,
calling
you
out?
guys ripped me. I'm not going to talk about it, but
Yeah, take it easy on Talon, you
Chill
guys.
out.
Man.
why am I the target all the time over here,
with it.
guys?
See, that's the real reason you guys brought me in, just so I could get ripped on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Deflect it
Cushion,
from
just
Talon
a
to
cushion.
Caleb.
Well, here's the goal.
Just a
We
cushion.
offend as many people as we can, and people will react to it, and then we'll grow.
Views.
No, I think it's fun. Like I think sometimes we could be so serious on the podcast, but I think
Yeah.
as we're growing and as we're progressing,
Yeah.
we can just loosen up a little bit.
I
I
need
feel
to
like
work on
Caleb
that.
brings that
Yeah.
to the atmosphere.
And we came in with no notes.
True.
This
Yeah,
is just
all off the
literally a
dome.
conversation
True.
off the bat.
I don't know where we're at in this. And usually, is there other?
Let's just chill for a little bit. I mean,
yeah,
that's not.
I'm good. What? But
Yeah.
I don't want to keep driving. What is there something we haven't talked on that you guys think we need to hit? Talon, you're working out a lot. You're running. Tell everyone what you're doing. You do 3 miles under 30 minutes. You're on day what?
For 30
Today
days.
will be day 10.
So you've done for 10 days straight, 3 miles under 30 minutes. That's impressive.
Yeah.
You do. When you get locked into something, you're very determined. I admire that about you.
He sticks to something.
Anal to it, yeah.
Caleb, what do you work out? What do you do? I mean,
Yeah,
you got
definitely.
quite the physique.
I always
Caleb,
I
aka
always-
Slim. Slim. Talk to us,
call me
Slim.
Slim. I think my main motivation is just to like max out your genetics in life. So it's like my one thing I always tell you, like, Dad, like,
You gotta
this is
fulfill your
yours. Just so
genetics.
you know, like, this is all yours.
This is what you
This
could
is what
be.
you
Yeah.
could have been.
This is your potential,
Exactly.
Dad.
I'm living out your potential.
Thank you for redeeming that, you guys.
But yeah, I love to work out. I think it's good. You know, God gave us like our bodies. Like, why would we just trash
Temples.
them? I feel like that's kind of sad to do. So I'm definitely in the gym often, putting in that work. You know, we're just waiting for you to join us.
I know. We did play basketball. Remember, even 3-point Stephon Curry, Dalen Brown got out there last time shooting up threes. We played basketball for summertime. That was one of my best funnest moments with you guys. All the church guys. Remember we played basketball.
I'd be down to
that
do
whole
it
summer?
again, but I
Everyone just
was
flakes.
getting really competitive. Like I was going through a season of just people were just making
Really?
me mad. Like almost got in some
It's
fights.
facts. It's facts.
My wife's just like, "Town, what are you doing? Like you're a leader at church. Maybe let some words slip out here and there. Like it just
literally
really
Zion.
tested my.
He's Zion.
He's Zion Williams.
Yeah, he's
There's
built
no
like
doubt.
Zion.
Talon Zion.
He's built like Zion.
Talon can almost, he's like his hops are
He
insane.
flies.
Talon can
He just
jump, man.
flight.
Yeah,
we need
that
to
would
bring
be
back.
fun to get back into it.
No one wants to smoke.
Something
though.
about men, like just we need to compete. We need to have
guys-
a healthy rival against other men.
Do you think you would ever want to golf? Like, what do we all golf together once? Do you think
Ooh,
golf?
I'll
we
go.
did putt for Dylan's birthday. I'm in love.
Okay. So putt are real golf.
Putt.
Okay.
we can
Like
transfer that.
mulligans?
You think you
Yeah,
can handle
like
the
a-
course still?
Oh yeah.
You could tear down?
No, it would take me some. No, you guys got to be on. I lost. My basketball game is gone too.
It wasn't that bad though. You're a facilitator.
I'm a facilitator.
Those passes?
I'll pass. I'll set
Steve
screens. I'll
Nash.
yeah. I'm a facilitator.
Literally Steve Nash.
You gotta as you old and you gotta as you evolve in your age, you gotta just become what you're becoming and just embrace it.
It's facts.
Yeah.
But I'm scared of that. Like I want
No
to
ego.
retain. I don't want to lose anything as I get older. Like that's my fear.
What are your guys' secret hobbies? What are some things that you like to do? Get away. When you're alone? Is it YouTube? Do you watch something and listen to music? Do you want to go to? What is some stuff you guys like to do?
I mean, we just talked about it. I love basketball. Definitely
Okay.
love basketball.
Yeah.
Like to skate.
Skateboard?
Skating's
Yeah.
fun.
You're great. You're great. I never could skateboard, but I admire how you can skate.
Thank you. Design. Like that's something that I'm like exploring or like chasing like as a career path, but I feel like that's something like out of
And maybe
I do for necessity
and maybe,
as an
Talon,
outlet.
well, maybe a potential model.
No chance.
Yeah.
Caleb may be on the model.
Hey,
He has the height. Yeah, for sure.
What do you like to do, T? Coffee.
Yeah, I love coffee. Creative,
That's your hobby?
creative stuff. You know, I'm a musician, so.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a hobby.
that's the
I've
thing.
kind
Your
of-
job is
Yeah.
one's hobby. You're making a
kinda-
career
yeah,
out of it.
I
So
just
Talon,
kinda-
you haven't worked a day in your life.
Right. I'm chilling. But I don't know. I want to start doing more activities.
Yeah.
Like I think it could be cool to go camping.
Okay.
I was born in Wyoming, so
Yeah, a little
I
outdoors
kind of get
stuff.
that itch sometimes.
Yeah.
yeah, same.
Putt. I definitely want to start doing
That
putt
sounds
putt
so
again.
funny.
Do you guys realize
No
how
shame.
OP I am at that game?
Let's go
Like,
play putt-putt.
Were you good
was
at it?
Yes.
Okay.
My ending score was, I think, -1.
That's impressive.
It was Noah, Dylan, and me going head to head, every shot count,
and you
like
guys are still
down to the
friends?
wire.
Still friends?
Yeah. We're good. But yeah, I love music. I love seeing concerts. We got to go to Elevation last night. That was really fun.
That's great.
Caleb missed out on that though.
Sadly.
But man,
What about you?
pastors' kids are normal, bro. Like, stop making it all these pastors' kids look like unicorns or treat them like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's another thing about pastors' kids. We just want to feel like we're normal. So, just let us be normal for once.
Yeah.
Like I
Stop-
remember
Stop criticizing and
Bro,
judging my family.
Criticizing everything we
We're
do.
in a fishbowl.
It's crazy sometimes,
or
man.
kids would be like, "Oh, I can't say this." Like Caleb's here is the pastor's kid. Like just stupid stuff. Like that people can just like attack you from. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's holy. Like you can make so many jokes. Like
Your dad's a priest.
Yeah.
Does he wear a robe? And I'm like, bro,
so stupid.
my
But like
dad does
we
not
have the
wear a
drippiest
robe.
dad. Like straight steezed. Like cooler than your dad. Why?
What
That
do we
did not
do
land.
after
That did not land.
No, it's great. I just it's cool.
Dad doesn't want to rub anyone the wrong way.
If only you guys could see his fit fully.
Well, I have really enjoyed this dialogue. I think it was so many angles and aspects, and it's beautiful. I think it speaks in a lot of ways too. Amen.
Yeah.
Man, do you feel like we got any clips in that?
Oh yeah.
It's got to be a few.
Dylan
Absolutely.
is saying not really.
Dylan
So,
says not really.
Dylan said a little bit.
Yeah, we got this. It's all a big clip. Yeah,
It's one long clip.
absolutely.
Clip that.
Yeah. Caleb, anything on your heart before we go that you want to say or share or shout out or express?
Shout out you guys for having me on. I feel like not qualified at all to be here or to like be able to speak on
Neither are
behalf
we.
of the church or you guys, but I loved it. It was an honor to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Love to having you. What is a major key right now to your walk with Jesus at 19? What's a key?
I would say prioritizing God. Like even things that don't seem so serious, like just choosing God. Like, oh, this new album dropped. I'm about to bump this on the way to work or at work, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna listen to worship.
Wow.
Like, might not be what I want to do, but that's like
Yeah.
as growing my relationship with God, that's where He's calling me to. You know, like He's giving me more. He's not gonna speak to me through the new like West Side Gun track or the new Drake and 21 Savage album, which is like I'm trying to be bumping 24/7. Like that's what I'm feeding myself.
Wow.
But He's giving me more outlets. Like listen, really play Dad's message.
Wow.
Like I'm feeling that. That's where the spot I'm getting to in life where I feel like I need to do that. And I know you said at 19, Bible college, you threw out all your old music.
Everything.
And I was always like, oh, that's not me. Yeah, not me. I'm on the way here. I'm about to play some music. I'm like, I can't. I literally can't. Like, I need to put on worship right now.
There's a clip.
Clip
Clip
that.
it.
Wow.
Clip that.
Gosh, so gosh.
Yeah, definitely.
I was so invested in my music, you guys. I couldn't do anything without it. I had a big old album. I went to Bible school, and I would be getting ready to go to Bible college, bumping I was punk rock and all that stuff, okay? Different than you guys. And I remember the Holy Spirit said, "Hey," like just like, "Hey, see that? It's got to go." I'm like, "There's no way. There's no way. There's no way." Yeah. That's got to go. No way. Yeah, that's got to go. You got to worship. I sent it all home.
Totally.
Dang.
Yeah, I feel that. Maybe like it's just learning the moderation.
So Caleb, yeah, and I'll never tell you what, but for me,
Trying to get me to
Dad's like, no.
delete my library, only ISOI.
so you're seeing that God is in those little daily decisions of choosing Him and His presence.
Totally. Yeah, those little steps. Every step you take towards Him, you're closing the gap. Like, please go check your screen time right now, everyone listening. Like, please. And then you'll feel convicted. Like, when's the last time you spent an hour in solitude with God? Like, truly. You're feeding yourself all this noise. It's like, I wonder why I don't hear from God, or I wonder why I'm struggling with this. Because, like, bro, you just spent 3 hours on TikTok and YouTube and listening to this, and he said that. Like, those are your influences. And I felt like that was me. Like, it was just like bombarding my mind. Like, that's all that's literally what you're feeding yourself. So now it's like getting to a place of, no, like I'm waking up and I'm reading the Bible. I'm going to go on a walk and pray. Like, I need to be at least combating as much as the stuff I'm giving myself from the
Have
from
you
the
seen
world.
a difference, Caleb?
Totally. Like, full 180. Like, I'm a new person, I feel like.
Caleb, at 19, I would say you're more analytical. I would say you're very logical. I would say you're more in you process things differently. I'm not saying that Caleb, but from me. Or not, I'm not saying from Talon, but I'm saying from me.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Would you say, no doubt, Jesus is real, He's the way, and your faith is anchored solitude for eternity, He's the way?
Totally.
Wow.
There's no question. No question.
Why?
When you know him, like, that's the thing. I remember, like, talking to friends, like, trying to get them saved who weren't saved at the time. And no matter, like, what they would say or what I would say, it's just like, we can't see eye to eye because it's almost indescribable when you, like, know God. So it's just, like, that gap of, like, having a relationship, like, you feel Him, like, and being a pastor's kid, like, we've seen a lot of stuff that's where you're like, all right, that's God, or hearing you be like, say this verse that came to us, like, that means that in our life. Like, it's God, there's just no way these are all coincidences.
Yeah.
It's like many alleys I could go with that, but
Right.
it's just like He's in me. Like, I know He's in me. Like, I have God with me. I couldn't imagine this life without Him, or like being lost,
Yeah.
Do you have any doubt, Talon, in Jesus at all? It's bedrock.
Yeah.
He's done too much to show Himself to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that that's what the next generation of leaders are going to do so well, or have to do well to reach kids, is to show that there's a genuine, authentic, real relationship with God.
It's true.
Because, and I was saying this at a panel, but young adults and teenagers, they can read through your fake facade in the first 30 seconds of you talking. Wow. So the next generation of leaders are going to be people who have encountered God and their life shows. And you're like ahead of your time for that. Totally. You don't preach from a script, insert your funny sports joke here, all this stuff. You've just been straight from the heart. Like, people can tell that you've experienced God. And I think that more leaders that are going to reach people in the next 20 years are going to be those who walk what they say. They walk they don't just talk the talk, they walk the talk. And they live a life that in any moment there's integrity behind everything that they do.
Reflects God.
Yeah, exactly.
There's your other clip there, Dylan. We just pull all these clips out of these guys. Powerful. Wow. I'm almost done, but I want to know one more thing. Okay. Brothers. What's some keys to being brothers?
Yeah.
Keys to brotherhood.
I would say what's cool is I feel like Caleb and I are getting closer now than we ever have.
True.
Because there was always this awkward, like, 5-year difference between us. Mm-hmm. But now that I feel like Caleb's in the season of, like, he's a young adult, and we have just been relating so much.
It's like easier to connect.
Easier to connect, easier to relate. Like, he's living on his own now. I'll text him, like, he'll text me. Like, there was a season in our life where we weren't really that, like, close. But there was nothing wrong between us. Like there was no beef
Yeah.
or anything. It was just this
Different
awkward,
pathways, maybe?
weird. What'd you say?
Going on different pathways, maybe.
I wouldn't say different pathways. I would just say we're at different stages of the path. So there was a little bit of distance, you know?
And when you're a teenager, you're so consumed in your like own life, you know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like most people go through that like that stage of life, like high school, it's like just you know, you almost
Yeah.
feel like but
Right.
once you kind of like step back and look back, like you say, like we're gifted this family, like having a brother is a gift.
Wow.
So you got to put in effort.
Right.
You have to cherish that. Like there's no competition. Those are certain keys to like, I feel like
Yeah.
keeping a strong relationship. 'Cause
Celebrate each
if
other.
this is who God gave me,
Beautiful.
why would I not pour into that? You know,
Yeah.
Wow.
Family should be your biggest support system.
it's an asset.
And I think that's what I've been learning is like beyond friends, beyond this, like your own flesh and blood, like that should be your number one.
So good.
So it's like Caleb will post something. I'm like, bro, I got to repost this because
Yeah.
I just want him. I want to show him that I support everything that he does, or even the girls too, because they're growing up and getting old. But like, family should always focus on celebrating each other.
Totally. And I feel like
Yes and amen.
maybe some people don't have that relationship because they don't, feel that. But you're not always gonna want to like reach out to your sister and like let her know how much you love her when you do. But you have to put an effort towards that.
Yeah.
And I think, like for your sisters, it coming from you both means more than anybody else.
Totally.
Have you guys ever dealt with suicide or depression or feeling down or?
Oh shoot.
Jesus.
For
don't
me,
think
I wouldn't say
suicide.
like suicide or anything like that. Like you could say like depression or like sad or like seasons, but
Okay. Amen.
I'm the type of guy just to be like, okay, like what? That's whatever. Like I have God. Like when you have God,
Right.
it's different. You know,
Amen.
I don't live by the world's.
Amen.
Well, conditions.
Yeah, and I will say that every time I have felt that, it's because I wasn't walking fully with God.
Exactly.
Wow.
Which I'm not. Don't get this wrong. Oh,
Yeah.
it's impossible to be depressed when you're walking with God. That's not
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that a lot of depression comes from a place for me when I was outside of the will of God.
Wow.
Totally.
Very good.
And
I
then
agree.
literally like rerouting my life back to him, I felt joy like come over me.
Beautiful.
And that gray fog like just lifts.
So good.
You know? Love you guys. Thanks for hanging in. If you watched the whole thing.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys listening to us talk, and thanks for bearing with this crazy episode of this is good. This is good stuff. I think every week we'll have one of these out. Fridays are the goal. But other than that, we love you guys, and we'll see you guys soon.
Sweet. Peace.